And this segment is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook and app. Number 1 is safe, but number 2, my man Deke, it's reliable and most importantly secure, because we don't play when it comes to our money. I know you do not play when it comes to money.
I don't mess around.
Not at all. In DraftKings, they are just like you in that regard. And the thing that I also love about DraftKings is this, man. For all the first-time users out there, trust me, it's a lot of first-time users out there. We once were first-time users as well. But for all the first-time users, if you use the promo code Moats, that's MOATS, you will receive up to $1,000 in deposit bonus money. So if I were to tell you that if this is your first time doing this, all you got to do is use a promo code, you receive up to $1,000 in deposit bonus money, you would think that's a good deal, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, and it's just free money for an opportunity to win more money. That's a win-win.
And it makes your Sundays fun, or any day that football is being played.
It could be a Wednesday. You never know, right?
Exactly.
So stop wasting time. Download the app, use the promo code, and let's get an opportunity to make some money.
James Washington.
What your thoughts on him, man?
Well, no, everyone's saying he needs to get the ball more now.
Yeah.
I think it's based off that last catch, really. And probably based off Collinsworth, what he was saying. He talked to Ben, and Ben said, man, if I have one deep shot or I have one combat catch that needs to be made, I'm going to James Washington. I feel really confident in him. But I think a lot of people were saying, and a lot of people said for our game ball, we didn't include him in our game ball post, right? That, James Washington, we need to give him the ball more. He's the only short-handed player. I feel like, well, I'll let you go first.
No, you already going, man. You already said you feel like. Go ahead.
I just feel like it was a combination of everything going on. It was like what would you say, a storm, the storm all coming together where we saw our other guys dropping it. He made the clutch catch at the end of the game. So I think that's really what it is. I think if we were to have James Washington out on the field more, there'd be a reason for it up to this point. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm not opposed to it if you feel more confident in him. But
I already told you I feel about James. I said it a couple weeks ago, and it shows once again. I mean, he catches the ball, he gets open. I like his game, and he plays a lot. It's not as if he's not on the field. It's the targets. He's not getting a ton of targets. So that's why even when you made the statement, like if he was going to be out there more before a reason, that's misleading because he is out there. Like Ray McCloud is a guy who's not out there as much, but when he is out there, he's more like specialized, so he gets highlighted. James plays a good amount of snaps. It's just when you have the plethora of options that they have, it's hard to. I mean, everybody can't get double-digit targets. You just can't, and that's a part of his issue right now. Juju and Deontay, well, really more Deontay, but both of those guys typically dominate the targets, and from there, you go Claypool because they have some specialized stuff from him. And then James kind of gets the leftovers after Ebron. So he doesn't have a lot of opportunities. But what I do like is that he capitalizes every time he gets an opportunity. That catch on third down, we've been through it up. Shout out to Dan. I always get on my man Dan Orlowski, man.
Okay.
So I've gotten on him before in the past, man, for some of the stuff.
Did he break this down?
No, he did, man. He did a good job too, man. Just talking about why the throw itself wasn't a good throw, but the decision was a good decision. When he broke it down, man, I thought he did a good job of just talking about the information that was gathered pre-snap with the pre-snap motion and the communication, letting Ben know that would be the highest percentage throw. Now, the throw itself, we all agree it was a terrible throw itself. The little lollipop up there, it ended up being a completion, so it worked out.
Well, I'm actually curious about what was bad about the throw? Because you could see it, like it dropped right in there between the three people and everything.
The thing is this, man, you do that consistently, it's going to get picked off.
No, I'm sure.
You can leave it at that.
I'm sure, because when he's throwing it, you're like, oh no. No. I understand that.
The only reason we're calm with it and okay with it because it was a completion. If it's not a completion, we're not talking like that. So I know the narrative is easy to make it like that for Ben, but that's not a Ben thing. Ben did great pre-snap. The thought of that throw in terms of knowing where to go with the ball was great pre-snap. Everything Ben did pre-snap was amazing. With him moving the guy back and forth, him being able to identify on the fly where the pressure would be coming from, where the highest percentage pass would be. All of that was good. The pass itself, though, you're not going to throw lollipop, just air balls like that and just say, oh, man, well, we're always going to get a guy to come down with it. No. And I know you want to get up here and try to defend Ben for that, but you'll be lying to yourself. That's my only thing, man.
Well, hold on. What did I want to say? Well, he said, he said the whole thing like, I trusted James Washington to make the play. That's why I threw it, which I really liked. It got me hyped up and stuff. But my question then is, what made the actual throw bad? And like, what else should he have done then?
This is the thing. So what made the throw bad was the fact that it wasn't a velocity. It was just kind of up there and hung around. If you got your secondary, I mean, let's be real about this. How many times do you think that perfect scenario right there, how that played out? If you do that 10 times, do you think it works like that every time? I don't. I think that's probably 1 or 2 times where it does work like that, and the other 8, it gets intercepted. So for me, we can point to that and say, well, it worked out, right? What was so bad about it? You play that play 10 plays, and we can run the percentages of it, and that's the part that's bad about it. It's no different. Anytime you have a good or bad throw, we critique it that way. We say, if you make this play 10 times, what are the odds of it happening successfully? If it's more times than not, it's good. If it's the other way, it's bad. It's that simple in terms of how us as football players evaluate. Like, I know fans and media personnel, they try to paint a different picture because of the narratives. But with us, it's all about percentages. I like certain plays that are high percentage because if we do this 10 times, I can rely and bank on this working more times than not. If it's the other way, that's not good. That's low percentage. That's more luck based. And luck in football runs out. So that's why we talk about it being a good throw versus a bad throw.
No, 100%. I would be lying if I didn't say, like, when it was up in the air, I'm like, but then it came down with everything, then I'm pumped and stuff. I think the thing, you mentioned fans and stuff, is if that throws happen with Rodgers or Mahomes, any of these other quarterbacks, I feel like the media is like, oh, man, look at this. He dropped it in there, clutch play and stuff. Whereas, like, with this, like...
Even last week. And I'm with you. Media will say that, but even last week when we came in here, what did I say about Mahomes?
You did. You said he made a lot of bad throws.
If you watch Mahomes is doing terrible things with that ball. The thing is, though, it's working out for them somehow, some way. Sometimes it's luck, and sometimes, like you said, if you throw that 10 times, that might have been the 1 or 2 times where it worked out for them. But some of the stuff that he does is terrible. You would not teach your high school quarterback to do that. But like I said, it works out, and you can spin the narrative how you want to spin it. And that's what I say that all the time too. I'm like, you can make it into this, oh, he's just so elite and that's why it works. You can spin it to where it's lucky. You can spin it to where that's not a good throw, depending on what you're trying to go with that. For me, I'm just always based on just calling it like I see it and just saying, look, if you do that 10 times, what are the odds of that being more successful than not successful? And then for me, that's how I make it just cut and dry like that. So I don't never have to worry about if it's this player or is it that player. Do I like this guy more than I like that guy? It takes that feeling out of it. It makes it just simple. I'm drawing a blank on the word, man. Just in terms of being unbiased, just this is what it is. That's how we can, make it a simple grading scale for me.
Yeah, no, I get it. But I guess here's the thing. Sometimes for that luck or just that one play to happen, it is like going outside of the percentages for it to. And
it's an outlier. I mean, it's no different than Eli Manning, the throw that he made to David Tyree, like the helmet catch. You throw that 10 times, it's getting picked 9.
Throw, the decision, all that stuff needs to happen for the play to happen, and for you to talk about it and say, oh man, that ended up being a good throw, even though at the time you're like, oh shit, but like, oh yeah, like that dropped right in his hands. James Washington made a great catch. We ended up winning the game. But yeah, like you said. Man, if this is thrown 7 out of 10 times is a different story. Is it incomplete? Whatever it is. But so definitely interesting.
Yeah, and I'm not even gonna say that would have been, we would have lost off of that, because they still would have had to execute and score a touchdown. It wasn't a field goal game. They still had to score a touchdown. So I'm not even making a big deal about it. Because the ramifications, there still was no guarantee. I know some people, it'll be a pick 6. I didn't think it would be a pick 6. I thought it could have been picked. Thought it could have been an incompletion. I didn't think that was going to be the back-breaking, we lost because of that play.
And that's what
some people try to make it into that, though.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking. Like I said, I just don't know what else he would have done with it. That goes back to what I was saying earlier. So,
yeah. But my thing, because it was third and that wasn't third.
5, 6. I don't know.
My whole thing was, you don't want a turnover right there.
So you would have been good with him taking the sack or whatever?
Take the sack, incomplete, punt it, play defense. Because I didn't feel like Trace was going to be able to march 80 yards. I thought that last play we talked about it was literally you make one bad mistake, one bad angle, and that's the difference in that play being a touchdown or being an incompletion or potential interception. I didn't think that he was going to be able to do that again. So I was still confident. But if you turn the ball over right there and they're getting it around midfield, that's a little bit different. That puts you in a lot more of a bind defensively. And now we're over here and we're sitting on the edge of our seats like, all right, we're going to be able to pull it out again. That's more so why I didn't like the throw also, because it's like, bro, in that field position right there, you can't take a turnover at that point in the game. You can't. But it worked out. We were able to keep them off the field and they ultimately won it. But that's some of the reasons why we say what we say like that, man.
Got you.